Good afternoon everyone, welcome to the Hull City Hall ahead of another huge show at the Ice Arena on Saturday night. This city has been very, very good to us, obviously since the first show when Luke Campbell turned professional at Craven Park. So many great nights at the arena. It's a wonderful venue that always tends to throw up drama. I think Saturday night will be no different. We have 10 fights on the card on Saturday night, a number of the fighters here today, live on Sky Sports from 7:30 PM, 6 fights scheduled for the night live on Sky. A couple of notables from the TV not here today. Bradley Saunders, former Beijing Olympian, is in action. Also Rocky Fielding, current WBA Intercontinental Champion, ranked across the governing bodies, will be back in action following a hand injury. To introduce everyone at the table today, a couple of local guys. Connor Seymour down there, great to have you back on the show, Connor. To his left, Tom Knight, who is in a very, very difficult and fascinating fight. He's fighting one of my favourite guys, Eric the Eagle Ocheng, who's been in some wonderful TV fights over the years. Saw him recently in Prize Fighter, had a fight of the year for the English title, fought Liam Smith for the British light middleweight title as well. It's a huge step up for Tom Knight, and I applaud Dave Coldwell for accepting that fight as well. I think it's a pure 50-50 fight, and great news for Tom and Eric that fight will kick off our Sky Sports programming at 7:35. So it's a high pressure fight. Tom's brought some massive support from Hull, and it's a very, very difficult fight, and Tom will talk about that shortly. Another fight which I think has the potential to steal the show is two very, very talented welterweights, Sam Eggington to my right and Shane Singleton to my left for the WBC International title. Shane Singleton, the champion, against a fighter in Sam Eggington that is just all action and non-stop. We saw him recently at the Manchester Arena fight Denton Vassell. It was a great fight. We've seen him in a couple of prize fighters, still young, in my opinion one of the top welterweights in the country already. And Shane Singleton, who Steve Wood's done a fantastic job for, building him up, headlining. He sold a huge amount of tickets for the show as well. It's a fantastic fight. I believe two of the top welterweights in Britain, and the winner of that is going to go on to huge fights domestically. And two great lads, two lads that have brought, like I said, Sam, plenty of support up from Birmingham, and Shane as well. And I can't wait for that fight. To my left, Luke Campbell. We're delighted to have him on the bill. I think he's been well documented. As you know, his father is unwell, and 6 or 7 weeks ago he pulled out of the show, and it was a very difficult decision for him. But 2 weeks ago we had a chat. As you saw a tweet that he put out, showing that he was in tremendous shape, and I felt that it was important for him to keep momentum. He spoke to his family, and I'm over the moon that Luke Campbell is back on the bill this weekend. I think he deserves a huge amount of credit for getting in the ring. It's a tough sport at the best of times, and he's had a tough time recently, but this is a short career, and with the support of his family, he'll be in the ring on Saturday night. This is a great main event fight, Tommy COYLE against Martin GETHIN. I've watched Martin GETHIN in numerous fights, domestically, IBF eliminators. He's never in a dull fight. Fight made at 9 stone 12. And I think an opportunity for Martin to move out of the lightweight mould, which we understand he was struggling at, against Hull's very own Tommy COYLE, who is never in a bad fight. And I think styles make fights, and COYLE against GETHIN is a fight with everything on the line. Now, I was at the Hull game last night. Everybody's talking about Tommy COYLE against Luke Campbell, but Martin GETHIN's got other plans, and he's the real banana skin standing in the way of a huge fight for the city. And I know that he'll do everything he can to make sure he's victorious on Saturday night. But Connor, obviously you're becoming a regular fixture now at the Hull Arena. Another fight and plenty of support again for you.
Yeah, the support's been really good. I'm looking forward to getting in and clear that draw, my record that I got with Danny Brown in my debut. I'm a lot more experience now, it's the 4th fight. Training's gone great, so I'm just looking forward to getting in there now and doing the job. Good.
And Tom, as I said, this is a really, really tough fight. I mean, I know Eric Ocheng, I've known him for a long time. He's a great lad, you'll see at the weigh-in on Friday. But this is a really big fight for you at this stage in your career.
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity for me, and I just want to thank Dave Coldwell and yourself for giving me the opportunity to take such a big step forward so early in my career.
How will you deal with it, obviously, on the night? Live on Sky, a lot of support in there, not just from your fans, but obviously other Hull fans going to be getting behind this fight.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we start boxing for, this is what we live for, to fight, not to not to just build up a bunch of wins. So I'm really looking forward to the fact that it's a 50-50 fight. I don't want to talk about losing, but it's part of the game. The fact that that's there is just making me more excited to put on good performance with the crowd.
He's quite awkward, isn't he, Ochi? Like, sometimes I remember the Quigley fight for the English title, they just stood toe to toe and didn't move. It was a brilliant fight. And then against Liam Smith, he showed a couple of different attributes. And he used to be an inside fighter. Now he's got really long arms as well. The game plan for him, you don't really know what to expect. So I'm guessing it's about adapting on the night. Yeah,
of course. I trust my father and coach. Phil Knight, he's going to be. He's been studying him all the way through it, his different fights and the way his career's gone towards the end. So as long as I listen to him, I don't see why I can't beat him.
And Sam, obviously now progressed from prize fighter. You had that great win over Denton Vassell. You boxed in Ireland as well, had a quick win over there. I think this is probably the biggest test of your career so far.
Yeah, you could say that, considering the total what's on the line, and obviously the big Birmingham show coming up. And like you said, the winner of this fight gets big domestic fights. So there's a bit of pressure there, but I've trained hard enough. Like I said, there's a few got a good crowd coming up from Birmingham, so it'll be a good night.
That big show we've got obviously planned for May the 9th as well, not too far away. Does that add pressure? Obviously you want to be in a big fight there as well, you have to win on Saturday to deliver that.
Yeah, exactly. A win on Saturday will make the Birmingham show obviously much bigger for myself. A loss the Birmingham show, obviously I'll hopefully still be on it, but it won't be as important as it is if I win this fight. Like you say, after this fight, there'll be big steps. So I win on Saturday, and then the Birmingham show.
You've seen Shane obviously fight before and been in some great domestic fights as well. What are you expecting from him on Saturday stylistically? How do you see, we know what you love to bring to the fight. I know you can adapt as well, but what sort of fight are you expecting?
I've only saw Shane box once. I watched him box Curtis Woodhouse. It's a close fight, everyone has their own opinion. But he likes to move a bit. So I presume I'll be chasing him around the ring for a while to catch him. But like you say, it'll be a good fight, and then on to the next one.
Shane, is that right? Is he going to be chasing you around the ring all night? We hope not. We hope you'll stand and fight at times as well.
He won't be needed to chase me, and that's a fact. Everybody's going off the fight with Curtis Woodhouse 2 years ago. I'm a total different fighter now than I was then. I believe I was still a boy then, and I came through and won the fight, which was a bonus for so early in my career. But now, total different fighter, and it's going to be in for a big shot, everybody.
Good. I know that probably the slight booking favourite Sam, because I think of what the viewers and the general public have seen over the time. You haven't had that exposure as much, headlining your shows, with Steve and obviously on the Fight Pass last time out. But this is your big fight live on Sky. Does that add the pressure as well, or just a chance for you to really leapfrog to the next stage?
I don't feel pressure. I don't feel pressure. I just enjoy it. I enjoy what I do. This is obviously what I want. I want to be on this table. I want to be on the big shows in Sky. So yeah, I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and it'll be a job to do.
And I've heard about your fans. Quite lively.
Very lively, yeah.
Good.
So there's a good few hundred of them coming down. So no doubt there's going to be some serious noise coming from them.
Good. I'm really looking forward to that fight. Like I say, two cracking lads, two great young welterweights. It's a big fight for them, and may the best man win. Luke, obviously didn't really think we were going to be sitting here ahead of a couple of weeks ago. Delighted to have you on the bill, and I know that having spoke to you last night, you're very focused about Saturday and also the future.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm really happy to be sat on this table, and by the sound of it, it's going to be a cracking show. Some great fights on there. I'm happy to get out again and just keep improving fight by fight, better than the last performance each time I fight, and just giving the fans a good night of boxing. But yeah, I'm focused, I'm ready. Obviously, I wouldn't have gone back on the show if I didn't feel I was ready or mentally focused or prepared. So I'm always in training and trying to be the best I can be, and come Saturday night you'll see the best Luke Campbell yet.
Obviously it's been a very difficult decision, for you to be on the bill, but the full support of everyone in Hull and of course your family must be a big help.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, it's if I wasn't on this show, you know, it wouldn't feel quite right. You know, this is it's definitely the whole fans that, you know, swayed me to be on this show, and you know, the support and the atmosphere and what they give on the Saturday night is just unreal. And you know, it showed that obviously I've got a lot of good followers and loyal fans that want to follow me and see the interest in me and see me grow and go on to bigger fights. And you know, this is part of it, is keeping the momentum going. And each fight I have now, obviously it's a better opponent each time, and you see a better Luke Campbell.
Obviously I won't talk too much about it because, you know, Tommy's got a fight against Martin on Saturday, but the whole city talking about a potential fight between you and Tommy COYLE. And obviously last night, you know, we was at the football game. Talks of it being at the KC Stadium, that's definitely in the back of your mind as well.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in the city, you know, if there's a boxing match coming up, it's, you know, me and Tommy's name always gets thrown up first, and how we're fighting each other and whatever else. But you know, this is the sport of boxing. It's a tough, competitive sport, and you know, if you keep winning and going on, and then you know, then the big fights will be made. So if Tommy has a great performance Saturday night, and I perform well, then you know, it could potentially lead to something massive and very exciting for this city. You know, it could be the first step that this city sees an open air stadium being filled for boxing, which is, you know, which would make history in Hull. But like you say, you know, business, we've got to take care of business come Saturday night, and then we'll look on after Saturday night.
Martin, someone who definitely doesn't want to see a stadium fight between Luke Campbell and Tommy COYLE this Saturday. Okay, well maybe it won't be as big if you win on Saturday, but you know, this is a big fight for you. We've seen some of your comments. We know you've trained hard. Big difference up at 9 stone 12 for you. I know, you know, it's £3, but
it's a major difference at £3 odd, but yeah, it's you know, it's a bit, you know, I wanted to move up from low weight. I've been low weight since the age of what, 15, 16. Then I want to try different ways.
Obviously, you've seen Tommy fight before, and you've been involved in probably tougher fights than he has in his career so far. You've got a mutual opponent in Derry Matthews as well. How do you expect the fight to play out on Saturday?
It's going to be a tough fight. I ain't going to say it ends. You know, he's a good boxer. You know, when he's been put down, he's got back up and he's got asset again. You know, so I'm expecting an easy game when I get there. I'm expecting, you know, to. I think I've seen someone put someone on Twitter before. You know, would end up in an ice hockey punch up, yeah. And you know, he'd probably end up that way. You know, he looked. So I'm looking forward to a good show. I've never actually boxed in Hull as well, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
You'll enjoy it. It's a great atmosphere. Tommy, sounds like your kind of fight, doesn't it? Ice hockey punch up.
Yeah.
Sounds like just a typical Tommy COYLE fight. Yeah,
for sure. First, I just want to thank everyone for turning out today. You know, to support me, Luke, the lads on the card, yeah, and just, you know, boxing generally. You know, it's fantastic. So thank you there. Saturday night we're here again, Ice Arena. Really excited about this one. Like you just mentioned there, the ice hockey punch-up. I think this is going to be another war. That's all I seem to be involved in. But you know, I love them types of fight. That's what I do best. You know, I ain't your textbook fighter, so this is it's my bag. I'm really excited. Looking forward to it. Training's gone fantastic. I've had some top sparring, some top training. You know, I'm learning every count that goes on. Yeah, Saturday night, you fans are in for a treat.
Obviously the Catsides fight, we expected a real war in that fight. You managed to knock him out in the second round. Does that leave you wanting more? I mean, I know that Jamie Moore's obviously got his tactic going into this fight. You love to go in there and have a tear up, but you know, you haven't had that tear up probably since the Bridgewater fight, so part of you wants that on Saturday night. And I think by the sounds of things and the way these styles will gel, you'll get it.
I couldn't agree more. I think the styles will gel, and that's what it's going to be, a war. You know, I never expected, if I'm honest, to you know, get our result against Catsides. I was scared to death for 12 weeks before that fight. I trained like an absolute animal. You know, knocking Michael Catsides out was great. It was probably the highlight of my career. You know, Martin mentioned in the press that I'm overhyped, and I agree with him. I think I am overhyped, but that's just because of the you know, knocking knocking Michael Katsidis out and probably defying the odds. You know, against Derry Matthews, nobody gave me a cat and nails chance of, you know, I know I didn't win, but I boxed really well that night. Nobody thought I'd get up in round 6, but I did. You know, I don't think I'm wired up the same. I love tough fights, I love having a tear up. And if that's what I've got to do again on Saturday night, then I'll do it. There's big plans in place for the future with Luke. And I don't want those plans to go to ruins. So I've got to keep that dream alive. Martin's a good fighter. He's won 2 British titles, something I've dreamed of doing all my career. So I can't look past Martin. I know he's a very good fighter. He's competed at world level, world title level, and I have utmost respect for him. I really like his work. I've watched all his fights and studied them all in the build up to this. So I know I've got my work cut out on Saturday night. I think the fans are real winners in this one. It's going to be a tough fight, and you're all going to see a good tear up, that's for sure.
How does the dangle of that carrot of the outdoor event, you know, potentially at the KC, play into your mind on Saturday night? Obviously, it's all about business on Saturday night, but is that added pressure? You know, that's so close now, or is that just added incentive?
I just said to Jamie Smale, I don't know if he's still here, I can't really think about the Luke Campbell fight too much because I know how tough a fight I've got against Martin Gethin. It's like going to work on the market, buying all the gear for to have a sunshine day, and it pisses down the rain at 11 o'clock and you've got all that fruit and veg. So you can't really bank on it too much. You know, he's punching me on the chin with 8-ounce Reyes gloves on. Anybody can go. I'm not invincible, and I'm not by far the greatest fighter on this table. I just love a war. So I'm not really. I love that fight. I've got a son on the way as well, and I'd really love to have a massive fight like that, you know, on the pitch. You know, for the scrapbook really. So it'd be great, but I can't look past Martin Gethin. He's a top fighter, and let's do business on Saturday. Chalk up another win, another good bout, more experience. Luke do the same. I'm delighted he's back on the show, by the way, because this is like a duo, and I'm delighted his father's stable too. Luke's obviously a pal of mine. So things are good. Let's just get Saturday out of the way, then we'll talk Campbell v COYLE and the Battle of Hull, Drago versus Rocky. So, he looks a bit like him, that bomb there.
Cheers, Tom. As you see it, Saturday night's all about buying new stock at the fruit and veg store and hoping it doesn't piss down the rain. Couldn't have put it better myself. I should have just said that from the start. So another mention as well, heavyweight making his debut, Ryan Fuller on Saturday sold a lot of tickets. We love to watch the heavyweights, and we're hoping he can do something special and come along for this ride in Hull. Charlie Payton as well, and also Gamal Yafai, the exciting bantamweight, is going to be on the bill, the GB Podium Squad member. VIP and ringside tickets are virtually all gone. We've got some 40s left. As always, tell everyone thanks for your support for coming down. The weigh-in on Friday will be at the Capital Shopping Centre. The Princey Shopping Centre at 1 PM, so not in here as per usual, over in the shopping centre. Come down and show your support. Live on Sky Sports from 7:30. I think it's in for 4 hours of live boxing on Saturday. And as always, thanks to everyone in Hull for coming out. We will break here for photos and heads-to-heads with the 2 fighters who are here, and everyone's available for one-on-ones. Thanks as always. We'll see you on Saturday night. Thank you.